didn't understand at the time why the spring gathering felt so different that year. It shouldn't have done. Everything about it was familiar from every time before. And yet, I know you'll wish you could have been there. That's not allowed, of course, but there's nothing to stop me telling you about it. There's a narrow path leading deep into the forest to a great clearing open to the sky, where my everyone, from all the villages on the land around the river, has gathered to celebrate the festivals of the changing seasons since forever ago. As soon as you get there, the scent of the place tells you it's spring again, because all the trees are in blossom. The men build a huge twisting fire sculpture in the centre, and the women hang long strings of lanterns woven from the last year's autumn leaves up in the trees. They look beautiful lit up when the night comes. There's food and drink, of course, and lots of it, all laid out on yellow cloths stretched out on the grass or arranged on low cairns built from flat stones. Platters heaped with thick slices of roasted goru, fruit pies, and huge round loaves of festival bread, and enough berried ale for a gathering twice the size. Funny how, when everyone brings something to a party, it always ends up that there's so much more than you need. You ever notice that? It's always a big event, coming back home to the land after spending winter in the city. That's why the spring gathering is the festival everyone likes the best. There'll be lots to do in the months to come, but first it's a time to celebrate the newborn season and catch up with one another again. People were milling about the clearing, chattering happily, helping themselves to whatever they fancied to eat and sharing what they brought with everyone else. My fathers were busy in conversation with a young couple from down the valley, and all four of them were laughing a lot. A long line of giggling young children ran past me, hand in hand, weaving in, out, and around, in a game of giant snake. And the headman of my village was singing a story for some of the older ones, while his daughter played the music to carry his words on her tarim. That's an old stringed instrument, a bit like your harp. Say my dear, anyway. Near the fire sculpture, 4 young men had taken their shirts off and were competing in a stave dance, and a ring of young women sat a little way off from them, playing a fortune-telling game with pebbles, to find out if the dancers they liked them back, I guessed, going by the admiring looks they kept giving them and their secret smiles to one another. And I stood and I watched apart from it all, and with no part in it all. And I didn't know why. I swigged from my beaker of ale, which was sweet but good, and tried to work out what was wrong. I knew these people, all of them, and always had. I'd grown up among them. And by common tradition, even those who weren't my blood kin were my kin by spirit. But tonight I didn't feel as if I fitted in, somehow. I was too old for playing giant snake, or listening to the headman's tale singing. Suddenly it seemed as if that was all just kids' stuff. But not really interested yet in getting to know a girl or a boy in the way that perhaps I would be one day. It was as if I was just hovering. I'd come back to the home I'd known all my life, but in myself I didn't know where I was, or even maybe who I was. Have you ever felt that way? I hope not. It isn't fun. My cradle father caught my eye across the clearing, nodded and smiled and beckoned me over. I smiled back and went to join the little group. Having a good time, Calder? Yes, glad to be home. I thought you were looking a bit whisper-led. I am, a bit, but I'm all right. Too much ale? Hardly. Too much pie, could be. He laughed and slung his arm around my shoulders, and the couple from down the valley laughed too. My mentor father said nothing, but he smiled at me as if he understood. Perhaps he did. He was good at understanding things, but it wasn't a good time to ask. When the sky above the clearing had started to darken, and the leaf lanterns had been lit and glowed among the trees, the headmen of the villages, agreeing without speaking to one another that it was time, left the throng and gathered around the fire sculpture, facing outwards. The eldest of them signed to the musicians, who took up their instruments and came forward to stand in front of him, ready to begin. The eldest headman raised his beaker high. "People of the White River." The Kaman, well, we all knew what came next and had been waiting, fell silent to listen. Green and silver sparks popped and spiraled upwards from the flames. "This blessed night, we greet the spring," the headman announced. "Hail! Hail! Thrice hail to the green!" The drummers began to beat out their rhythm. The piper brought her instrument to her lips and started to play, and the Kaman, in unison, joined them in the ancient song.